take a bite, and then I want it more. Baby, just take a bite.
Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Pop Teeth. Woo woo! That is on consistency. This episode tackles the emotional roller coaster of believing in your art before anyone else does. The lonely in-between where you're grinding without much validation and still showing up. It's about mindset, delusion, belief, and the difference between quitting and pausing. Welcome back to Pop Teeth. I'm Mimah, and if you've ever wondered if you are a visionary or just a bit delulu, then this episode is for you. Today I'm going to be talking about belief, the kind of belief that you need to have when no one's clapping for you yet, or following you yet, or listening to you yet. How do we retain that? First, we're going to talk about riding the highs and lows of your career. So for me, there's been a few moments in my career to date that have been really, really exciting. I've worked with advertising things. I've supported really, really cool, significant artists, played some really cool venues, played internationally, had songs do really well in ways I didn't expect it, and met some really, really cool people and collaborated with some really cool people, had really exciting meetings and had like pockets of these highs happen. They usually happen close together, so you have like a run where things are going good, like you're picking up momentum, all of that kind of thing. And then suddenly there's nothing for a while. The lows, classic ones I can think of are when not many people are listening to your song, you haven't got big numbers, you play to audiences of really small crowds, and maybe you're really trying to get away into the actual industry, becoming business partners with a manager, a label, someone like that. And you're reaching out and sending all these emails and you don't get much or nothing in return. There's been moments, especially as I've gotten a bit older, where I question myself and I think, is this something that I actually still see longevity in? Is this something that I still see happening for me? Why am I doing this and what am I doing it for? I think it's always fun to dream about the big stadium tours and the social acclaim and the critical acclaim and the awards and potentially collaborating with the big dogs in the industry currently. And thinking about those things is always really exciting. But I think it's important not to get attached to that particular outcome, those exciting outcomes. Have the dream, get the feelings of excitement, and then start working on what you can control in the moment. Sometimes I think to myself, am I actually doing something here? Am I creating something that people will care about or enjoy or resonate with? And I think when I was younger and I first started making music, I was making music that was sonically cool at the time, trying to fit in with that. I'd just started university and I was trying to be really edgy and cool. So my motivation was for people to listen to my music and think I was cool. Kind of egotistical and kind of like shallow. There wasn't much depth to it, but there's nothing bad about that. That's just where my mindset was as like a teenager. And slowly over time, and I've kind of studied my work and studied myself and just created more and listened to different things, and kind of my palettes become bigger. I had time to think about why I was creating and what I was doing it for. I'd listened back to a lot of my music and listened to the lyrics and think, what am I actually talking about here? What am I trying to share with people? And is it something that's just for me, for an emotional release for me? Or am I now creating something that I hope others will resonate with and will find something within the music that heals something in them that's going on? And that's when things started clicking for me. I just thought, I want to do this for a sense of community. I want to bring people together through my work. I want to give hope to people that are listening to it and share similar struggles to me, or, you know, come from a similar background, or, I don't know, just see themselves in what I was doing. No matter, like, if it was a completely different demographic to, how I come across socially. And I think what came out of that was this idea that you have to break apart and figure out what the difference is between delusion and having a vision and finding purpose within your work. I was very lucky to be able to study my master's degree in popular music, and that course was specifically tailored for about 10 artists a year to kind of dive into the philosophy of their work and really figure out why they're making it, what its purpose is in the zeitgeist, and does it have a place in the music industry, and why. And when I started thinking this way and started thinking about my music as something that I want to share with others instead of perform to others, it's made me think that it's completely rewired the way I write things, what my hopes are for a live performance, what my hopes are for sharing music on streaming platforms. And now I'm getting closer to the core of why I'm making music in the first place. The delusion is starting to disappear and the self-belief is getting stronger. And that takes time. That isn't something that came naturally overnight. It's still something that I'm closing in on now, and something that I'm sure as I get older will become a lot clearer and have a lot more clarity. But I'm gaining this sense now that I want to write music and share music because I want a bigger community of people around me. I have spent a lot of my life happily in a lot of alone time. I've got a phenomenal group of friends. I've had really intense but quite amazing relationships romantically. And even if I don't see those people anymore, I learn a lot from them. But I really want to discover more people, learn their stories, speak to people about what makes them them. And I've just had this realization that I want my music to be a tool for that. And that gives me belief that if I'm creating something with intention, it will find the right people who need it. Self-belief is a funny one, and I think it also comes in waves. Lady Gaga is phenomenal. She just continued to believe in herself. And I know she must have felt at times during her journey into this career that she would have had moments of self-doubt, but she let them pass and her self-belief was stronger. You can choose to believe in yourself or not. There could be lots of factors as to why you may doubt yourself, but at the end of the day, you can choose and say, I believe that I am capable enough of following this path and continuing to do what I do. I don't think anyone does anything without self-belief. And self-belief can be a spectrum. If I said to myself, okay, I believe that I'm capable of working at a pharmacy or in an office or at Tesco's, then I'll do that because I believe that I can do that. And you just have to say, I believe I could work that job. Why is a career that is, I don't know, more competitive or really put on a pedestal in some senses? Because the job is more competitive or more unique or more creative. I don't know how to verbalize that. But why is a job that is in a niche industry or a specialized industry or a really cool industry, because the job is cool, why should that have an effect on your belief to do it? The mind is so powerful. If you focus it in on what excites you and what motivates you, and you just do a little bit each day towards that, and you keep affirming to yourself, I believe I can do this, there's no doubt that it can't. And it's easy to say, okay, I'll just believe in myself then. But you may not quite feel it, there may be doubt. When I go through moments of that, I just verbalize it. I say, no, you can do this. You can. I talk to myself out loud. I'm pretty sure that's the first sign of insanity, but it works. And even if I'm not fully believing it in my core at the time, I say it out loud. Say, no, you can do this. If you need a break, you need a pause, fine. But don't stop it. There's a fine line between being stubborn about something and being serious about something. And I think artists tread that line every day. Real artists know the spectrum of their emotion. They look inwards a lot and know how things affect them and know how things influence them. And if you get to a place of deeply knowing how things affect your mood, affect your self-esteem, affect your doubts, you can allow space for those things to exist. Those emotions also have a place to inspire the art as well, right? So I think you've got to be consistent in your self-belief. You've got to say, yeah, I can do this. I'm not feeling up to it today, but I will continue to do it. And that's powerful. Now, where music fits into this mindset is a great thing. As I just touched on, if you're feeling those negative emotions, they might inspire you to create something. Songwriting helps me process the doubt. But sometimes if I'm feeling doubt and I go to write something, because I'm in a negative headspace, everything sounds awful to me. And I put it down, but I had a go at it. But then I'll return to it again, maybe the next day, and I'll try and create something out of that. And I'll just try and sit with my feeling, try and figure out why I'm feeling this, why I'm feeling self-doubt. What do I really want to obtain? I think self-doubt creeps in a lot easier if you're not working from a place of giving and gratitude. What a privilege it is to be able to write music and share music and do it as easily as we can in this time period. The business side is different. Obviously, that is still something that's quite hard to get into, and to sell your music on a high scale is something that's quite hard to get into, but anyone can make a song and share it. And what a privilege that is, and you just don't know how that could take off given with how connected we are now. What I've learned recently is that I'm really interested in people's stories. I'm really interested in what people have been through, what makes them the way they are, what they're dealing with internally. And because I'm really interested in that, I'm really interested in connecting with people more. And like I said, I used to be quite shut off from all of that. Maybe it was a self-preservation thing, maybe it was a vulnerability thing, I don't know. But because I have that kind of lust for community now, my songwriting's changed. And it's changed to a point where I want to be open with people, and I want to be putting on shows that really connect with everyone and gives everyone space in the room to be themselves. Whereas before, I think I was a bit lost direction-wise. I was still writing from my truth and my heart, but a lot of it was about me and blah, 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 blah. And so now I know what I'm interested in and what I'm interested in writing about and the stories I'm interested in constructing through music. There's less doubt in my mind about wanting to create, because I feel like I'm doing it as an offering instead of something to give to myself. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm trying to make a point that the self-doubt is slowly creeping away. Now I'm finding the core of why I do it. And I think that also ties in with getting to know yourself better. And I'm definitely on a journey of figuring myself out and falling in love with myself and what my deep values and core values and what I want to leave on this planet and what I want to figure out on this planet is. And because I'm starting to feel more aligned, my self-belief is too. And making music just does amazing things to your confidence. If you make something and it's really cool and you take that idea to someone like a producer or a band and you get to hear it played back at you, it's a really electric, amazing feeling. And you think you can transform feelings of doubt or feelings of sadness or feelings of frustration. You can transform them into this expression of sound that can really do great for you and others. And I've made a ton of songs that have changed and healed me, even if they've never made a playlist or I've never released them, and that it might be something that I release one day, but there's so much music that I've made that has helped me get to know myself better and kept me on the journey of self-belief. All of this to say, it's good to be a little bit delulu. It's good to start a project with these huge, humongous dreams and get excited about that and think about playing to loads of people and think about the photo shoots and think about the videos and think about how powerful and strong you'll feel by creating all of these visuals and creating all of this sound. But what music's really taught me so far is it's a tool to help get to know myself better and why I want to do this and who I want to do it for. And I've reached a point now which is really exciting where I'm getting into the core of my values and my own opinions and my thoughts on situations. And that for me now is something even more excited than thinking of like critical acclaim. It's something that I feel is right. And so I deeply think if you're going through moments of doubt, give yourself time, breathe through it, allow the feelings to exist, allow space for that, and then just get curious. Why am I feeling this doubt? Is it because the music I'm making isn't aligned with what I'm truly feeling? Is it because the way I'm dressing, I think I'm doing that because that's what's popular in pop music at the moment? Why have I made all of these creative decisions? Because every creative decision you make is a reflection of how you're feeling internally, I believe. And so if you spend time getting more in tune with yourself, more time figuring out you as a person, then you as an artist are just going to blossom. Because the self-doubt is going to start to peel away when you get so focused on why you believe you're creating in the first place. As long as you're still present and you're still trying, that's enough. If anyone would like to share how kind of self-doubt has affected them in their creative endeavors, the space is open for you to do that. I think it'd be great to start growing this conversation and talking about why we make art, what excites us about making art, and why we have self-doubt. I look forward to speaking again in episode 4, and please feel free to follow, share, and send this to someone who needs to hear that they're not crazy, they're just an artist. See you on the next one.